So let's go now into a little bit about your approach to probate and just as a frame for people who are listening as we get into some of these topics that we're going to talk about. You take a real practical approach. And I think that's kind of interesting because some attorneys, they're very kind of like the law is very intellectual. And so, there's a little bit of pie in the sky sometimes, and it's kind of very like in rarefied air. And then you've got other people, other attorneys that are more grounded, 2 feet on firmly planted on the ground, and which is, I think, good for people that are dealing with probate
Mhm.
because definitely, even as a real estate broker, people are going through a very tough time in probate. Very good EQ, very good emotional intelligence to help guide them through these matters. So, just share with me a little bit about your approach, just kind of your philosophy to attacking the whole thing.
Yeah, like you said, I take a very practical approach. And the reason is I've actually experienced loss in my own life in the last decade, even. Like I mentioned, my son Nathan passed away right after he was born. And my grandfather also passed away a couple of years ago. Kind of being on that side of the story and knowing what it feels like to lose somebody that you love, I know that a client is not going to want to have to like go through all of the legal nitty-gritty. They want something that's going to be very practical. They want something that's approachable. And that's understandable because they're going through a really tough time right now. The fog of grief it's a real thing. Like your brain is not working at the way it normally does. And so when I meet with a client, I try, first of all, to be very compassionate because I know they're going through a hard time. I know they're going through that brain fog of grief. I know what that feels like. And I know they don't want to be here. Nobody wants to be in this situation, but it's something we have to deal with just as a matter of course. Closing out a probate estate, people pass away, and we have to kind of clean up after them to take care of all of the business. I always tell people when they come in, the first thing is, I'm so sorry for your loss. Is there anything that you need from me at the outset that is going to make you feel more comfortable, that is going to put you in a good headspace? And I think people appreciate that. With my law firm, I will actually go out to people's homes if they're comfortable with it, for a first meeting or to do a Zoom meeting if they prefer. Just because a lot of times, you've got a lot going on and you don't always want to have to stop what you're doing to go drive out to an attorney's office and sit somewhere where you feel uncomfortable. A lot of my clients also tend to be older when it's probate. And so sometimes they have mobility issues, sometimes they have transportation issues. And so having the ability for the attorney to come to them and visit them in their space where they're comfortable is often a big plus for them. So I'll do that if that's what it takes for them to feel good. I also want to just point out that unfortunately, from a very practical standpoint, the first thing that you do need is a death certificate with probate. And sometimes that can take a long time to get depending on the situation with the government and how things are going. But we can't really do very much without a death certificate. But while you were waiting for it, you can absolutely be doing things like going through the decedent's paperwork, see if you can find the original will, see if you can find bills that needs to be paid, see if you can find things like life insurance policies, stocks, all that kind of stuff. It's a good thing to kind of just start going through if you're able to while you're waiting for the death certificate. And then once you get that death certificate, a lot of more things can fall into place. You can start taking that to banks. If you are a beneficiary, you can take it to your probate attorney to start the probate process.